Hello, welcome back to my channel. And today we have a very interesting story. Anthropic acquire ban as cloud code reaches 1 billion milestone. What does that mean? And what does this translate into software development and how we see open source project as general? Because I have a lot of take on this, and I think this topic is close to my heart because it's not the first time I've seen this story like this, where a very successful company acquire a very less successful company like Ban. And I want to highlight one thing. Ban is successful. Ban, but Ban is also not making money. So it's kinda like successful but not in terms of revenue. And I will explain that in the video, and I will tell you what and why I think this might kill ban as we know it. So, and I want to tell you a background of me and open source project. Oh boy, I have a lot of things to share. And I want to tell you a story when I was using a very popular open source project called RAM. If you remember, RAM was a database software. It was very performant, it was very good, and you will not think that it would not work. At some point, you could believe that one microsecond is enough for you to get the data, save the data. So the database was so good to the point where it was acquired by one company called MongoDB. And if you see the story, the purpose of acquiring RAM at the time was not to make RAM very performant and more popular and so forth. And eventually they converted it to Mongo Atlas, something like that. You still use RAM. And it started to fade in inside a Mongo project, side hustles, and eventually I think it's last year they stopped and they dropped a bombshell and they stopped everything. And developers that were depending on the project, they had to find an alternative. And you could think of 5 years of development, 5 years of investment. Out of nowhere, a company like MongoDB wake up in one morning and say, we're no longer supporting this. We give you 1 month to go and find out something else. Or if you want to still use your MongoDB for other things, but no, RAM, we're done with it. And developers were given few months to migrate. And you have to know that there were no alternative solution that you can drop and drag and just plug to the existing RAM and be able to move on. So developers were forced to move, but with no clear direction of where they are moving to. So why I'm bringing the story to this Anthropic acquiring ban? Is it a good things or is it the bad things that we should not be happy with as software engineers? As I told you, I have a mixed feeling. I don't know if this is going to be the same as other acquisition that we have heard, but we already know that big companies sometimes hire uh, acquire these small companies just to maybe get the talents from the company. We have seen the story like Google where they um, they wanted to acquire not actually acquiring, they wanted to have the talent from the windsurf team AI behind the windsurf editor. And what they did, because they didn't want to acquire the windsurf, because I believe they have enough enough peoples that they have enough product that is kind of similar to windsurf, but they needed a talent like from windsurf. So what they did was smart, was just to find a way they can recruit from the company and bring those peoples, which were the windsurf, to lose the momentum they had at the time, and eventually starting to struggle, right? So could that be the case for ban? Could that be that Anthropic is looking for the talent from the band team, and they believe, because I'm going to go a little bit details of ban and how ban is so fast eventually, because now ban can you can install ban and be able to run it and create a executable that you can run on Windows, Mac OS, Linux, you name it, and you don't have to have Node.js installed on your machine. And with these advantages that ban already have, you can do a lot of things like such as of startup time. You can have a lot of things such as of like a code execution, because you don't have to wait. You don't have this warm up time where you need to wait for the server to boot up in order to for you to start executing. Could that be the reason why Anthropic is buying ban in order to dismantle the team into their own ecosystem to bring those experience of optimization or something in order to maybe create? So this is what I think that will happen. Maybe Anthropic is looking to monetize their AI, and they know one way they can do that is to have a no code raw code solution, where you can be able to generate the code through their models and be able to have a sandbox environment where you're going to execute your codes in a safe environment sandbox, so that you can be able to uh, preview, such as like the way Roverbot does that, but for them. And I could see that the only way they can do that, the smart way they can do that, is to recruit the team that already understand the performance, already in the space where there is more developers, because ban is already being used by a lot of developers. So I think there is more to come, and we going to see a lot of shifts and a lot of things happening now. And if it's today, are you going to choose the programming language that your project is going to depend on? Will you choose ban? The future is unknown. No one knows that is if it's going to keep be maintained for real. And we're here. Thank you for watching. See you next time in next video. And if you like the video or you don't like and you want to support me, consider subscribing to the YouTube channel, and see you next time.